kuja nami ni kuonyeshe upendo. Hapa nyumbani ni dhahabu na kueleza. Njoo uone zaidi, urembo bila kipimo. Karibia uone uzuri wetu.
Africa, my motherland.
And right about now, I would like to call Vice Versa Global's Editor-in-Chief. Her name is Eunice Waura, and she will start us off. So please, a round of applause as Eunice walks onto the stage.
Energetic and youthful vibe. It's exactly how we envisioned to start this evening today. First off, I'd like to begin with thanking God for bringing us all here today. And one of the things that I have to say is that you all look amazing. So thank you so much for choosing to be with us this Friday evening, and for choosing to celebrate this milestone with Vice Versa Global. My name is Eunice Waura, as introduced by the MC. I am the Editor-in-Chief of Vice Versa Global, and I am passionate about a lot of things. I am passionate about the African continent, and I am passionate about the African youth. And it's not because I still fall within that category, barely, but because I know the power that young people actually hold when they're invested in. This was actually my story 5 years ago, and this is actually the story of Vice Versa Global. So this is the third edition that Vice Versa Global is actually launching. And I would like to tell you the reason as to why this magazine really matters. Because some of you may be asking, what does storytelling have to do with entrepreneurship and, business? And I will put it in a way that speaks to your heart, because a majority of the people here are in the entrepreneurial space. You're investors, you speak the language of money. So according to a report done in October 2024 by an organization called African Entrepreneurial, it was revealed that Africa loses 4.2 billion annually because of bad storytelling, because of negative stereotypical storytelling about Africa. Yes, it's billions. So as entrepreneurs, what are you thinking about? Lost investments, lost partnerships, lost opportunities. And what we've actually done with this special edition, this edition on African entrepreneurship, is that we have shifted those narratives by telling the authentic narratives that truly represent and reflect the heartbeat of the African entrepreneurship landscape that we dream of. Thank you.
Another round of applause, please, for Eunice. That is what happens when you tell journalists to be brief, but she's allowed. Thank you so much, Eunice.
Good evening. Habari zenu? We are good?
Yes.
Anjiguna is my name. I work with Solidaridad. I know our name is a mouthful, and you may be asking yourself who Solidaridad is and why we have such a long name. Basically, it means solidarity, and we are an international civil society organization that basically works towards developing sustainable solutions that make communities more resilient. And by communities at Solidaridad, we work with the mining communities and the small-scale farmers. So we work with the mining and the farming communities. And we're very keen on working with the marginalized, and for us, the marginalized, we look at them as the women and the youth, and just trying to ensure that we create solutions that make them more sustainable and more resilient. And to us, sustainability basically means social sustainability, where we advocate for inclusivity. It also means economic sustainability and also production in balance with nature. So we are so glad to be part of this forum this evening, because we are glad to partner with Vice Versa Global as we tell stories on how we can impact the community and build their resilience. So basically what we're working towards and why we're partnering with them is just to showcase what is available for the youth, so that we can tap into the energies, into the innovations that the youths have and make sure that we build a better community.
DJ. Aya. Stop. Pause. If you're not impressed, she can start again. Are we impressed? It is not me, it is the audience. DJ, we have to start again now. Some more oomph. No problem. Dance. We can psych them up as they are coming to the front. We continue hyping. We continue. It's his moment to shine. Thank you. You see, that is how you pass exams. You follow instructions. So I hope the ones who are coming, the next two, you will follow instructions. You follow instructions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's please clap for our panelists. I think we can all agree that specific song, we will have to dance to it again. We shall revisit, right? Once the event is done, we shall revisit that song again, okay? So before we start this panel, I'd like to remind us of a few house rules. Number one, any picture you take, any post you make, any tweet you put up, we strongly advise you post, you tag Vice Versa Global across all social media platforms. Like I said, for those of us who have just joined us, strongly advised is corporate for we. You must. But thank you so much for attending the event. We request you guys to pay attention. We're about to have a very interesting conversation on shaping Africa's entrepreneurial future, and we hope that you guys will chime in as well. Sawa, karibuni sana. Another clapper, please. Thank you. First of all, how are you feeling?
Great.
You good? I want to start from Phil. Just tell us how you're feeling, and tell us how you're feeling. Actually, let's make this interesting. Tell us how you're feeling, and one thing that this audience clearly doesn't know, and we know you know how to dance, so something else.
Hi everyone. My name is Deacon Filmat, and number one, I'm feeling very happy and excited to be here at this launch, because this launch is all about people like us, entrepreneurs, and it is giving us the lens that needs to be given out there about us. So I'm very personally excited to be here, because this is what we need. We need more of this, and I'm so happy to be part of the panelists and also to be part of what Vice Versa is doing in just projecting what we're doing out there as entrepreneurs.
Thank you very much. Faith, you're up next.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Faith Ige. I am delighted to be here, really honored. And when you sit amongst the people where you have touched their lives and they have changed, and you can see the transformation taking place, and you can see them going to a global recognition, it really is humbling. So I'll be sure I share that shortly, what that means, and it's an honor to be here.
Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be in your beautiful country of Kenya. It's my first time here. And
Karibu sana.
really enjoying it. I don't know what the question is, but the answer is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is the answer. I'm from the southern part of Africa, and I've been to all the parts of the continent, the west, the north. It's my first time in the east. And I know that entrepreneurship is the answer. You know, we are unemployed as young people. It's tough out there. And I've seen that, you know, through, you know, having those guts of entrepreneurship, taking a step, hiring people, we are in the right direction as a continent. Thank you.
Make sure you don't leave Kenya before eating nyama choma.
I ate it today.
Ah, you did? Ah, nice. Nice.
I ate it today.
Ah, okay.
And that white liquid, what is it called?
Morsik?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Ah, you're now Kenyan by association. Welcome.
Hello. The feeling is I'm elated. As Eunice said, this magazine has taken the last 7 months. So for me to be here launching this magazine, I don't think I have the perfect word to describe how I feel, but I'm elated because this magazine holds very interesting stories. And I don't want to spill the tea, but I can assure you there's some good content and very inspiring stories. Yeah, so for me, I feel elated. And as for one thing they don't know, I am left-handed. Yeah, so there is that. Thank you.
A round of applause for Miriam. She's the only one who followed instructions. She's the only one who actually answered something we don't know about her. But thank you very much. And I think it would be ideal to start with you, Miriam, because you coordinated this magazine. So months in the making. How was the experience? The gathering of stories, the putting together of everything that has made the entrepreneurship special. What makes it special?
Thank you, Caleb. Number one, I would say it was, there were so many moving parts to this because it was not a one-man job. I see some of the partners we worked with here represented in the room. That was one side of this puzzle we were working with, just to work with partners to understand what they are doing in Africa as it relates to entrepreneurship. And then we go to the next stage of talking to the entrepreneurs themselves, understanding what fields they are in, what they are doing, understanding their unique experiences, some of the challenges they are facing, some of their achievements. And then there was also working with the journalists, the people who actually brought these stories to life. And one thing is that was not a team that was identified. I know some of them are here, but we had a very diverse team of writers who did an impressive job at putting these stories and also using their unique voices. So you will get very different writing styles, but all speaking to the entrepreneurship. To answer your question, what makes it special is, number one, you will find that the stories we have captured are very unique stories, and also from fields you wouldn't necessarily associate to entrepreneurship. For example, without preempting again, we have stories from ecotourism, we have things from the gaming space, we have things from AI and data science, and how all that is intertwined with entrepreneurship. So what makes it special is we're just not talking about the traditional ways of doing entrepreneurship, and to add to that layer is there is an aspect of social impact. Most of these entrepreneurs, they're just not in it for profit. There's an aspect of social impact, there's an aspect of environmental sustainability as well. So that is what makes this entrepreneurship special edition special, because it carries a lot of diverse stories from different fields, from different players. Yeah.
So how do you see AI impacting your business in the next 2 years, given we see tutoring services like Akura AI already using artificial intelligence tutors? Yeah, that's right.
Thank you for the question. Yeah, thank you for the question. And Jambo, you said Dumela, that's my language.
Okay.
Yeah, so the question is the AI. So AI is disrupting every industry, like it or not. And with our industry, the tutoring industry, there was actually beginning of last year where globally students were actually doing their assignments through AI. So you can see that even now, there are some AI tools where you can actually have an AI tutor face-to-face with the student, and that is actually disrupting our industry, because imagine we having to hire the tutors, train them, and then there's just an AI tool person that looks like you that you can ask questions, then it responds. So basically, to answer that, we need to be at the forefront of the AI disruption. We need to be the ones pioneering the AI disruption. So we learn a lot in terms of the AI trends. There are conferences that we attend for both education conferences, AI conferences, and EdTech conferences. So that is just to help us to be at the cutting edge of the disruption. Remember what happened to Kodak, Kodak, there was that time of the films, they didn't pay attention. One of the employees came to them and say, let's do digital picture taking. So they just shelved the idea. And right now Kodak is out of business, right?
I was worried you'll tell us to also dance. And I didn't carry my dancing shoes. Good evening, everyone. I am delighted to be here today. As he has said, my name is Rebecca Mutiso. I work for the Media Council of Kenya. So basically, Media Council of Kenya is the media regulator in Kenya, and we regulate content published by media houses and people practicing journalism. And our other function is we are here to ensure that there is independence of media in this space. And one way of ensuring that media is free and independent is ensuring that there is space for people to practice quality journalism sustainably.
My name is James Gatere. It's a pleasure to be here with you. One thing you may not know about me is that my wife is a journalist, or at least she's been in that communication world for all her life. Basically, she joined an organization, a broadcasting organization, before she left the university. And this year, she would be retiring from that same organization, having reached retirement age. That is an achievement. People like me have jumped around maybe about 6 or 7 different organizations, and who knows, I'm still jumping around. In brief, I work for I&M Foundation. I&M Foundation is a corporate foundation for I&M Bank. Our focus areas are environmental conservation, education and skills development, economic empowerment, and we do that through what we call partnerships, enabling giving. I can tell you a lot about it, but let me stop there.
We are entrepreneurs. Then back to the bar time. We are entrepreneurs. Then shift to the bar time. We are the backbones of our economies. We are the masters of our keys. We are entrepreneurs, the visionaries of our time. We are entrepreneurs, the hopes in our lives. We are entrepreneurs, the believers of the art possible. We are entrepreneurs. Let me be free.
Good evening, everybody. You all look very lovely. I didn't get the memo on the dress code, but I'm telling you, half my wardrobe's like this. This is just how I dress every day. I like animal prints. So lucky me. I'm the guest of honor, but really, the honor is all mine. I'm so honored and privileged to be standing in front of you here. I'm not really a big shot for titles. I have one, but you need to live the title, you know, so I'm honored to be here. I'll tell you a very little bit about my journey, and I hope to inspire you on your journey as well. With me, what you see is not what you get. I'm not Kenyan by association. I'm actually Kenyan. I came to Kenya in the, I was going to say the 19th century, but it's not that long ago. In the 1990s, as a young, aspiring journalist, I actually studied journalism. And my first internship was with Nation Media Group. I was working there for 3 months. I did all sorts of stories and pieces, and I fell in love with Africa, even before I ever stepped foot there. I actually lived through the Kenya that you guys hear your parents talk about. I set foot here in 1997. I was tear gassed in these streets of Nairobi when there were the elections for multipartyism. That's how old I am. I have 2 Gen Zs in my house who keep me, you know, what can I say, who keep me informed. It was interesting working in Africa as a journalist at that time. It was before, you know, WhatsApp, Facebook, before social media. It was even before mobile phones. There was one landline in that whole, you know, newspaper that was able to call direct. So one day I used it, and I kept hearing these funny things when I'm talking. So I asked the editor, what's this sound, you know, in the phone? He's like, oh, don't worry, we're being tapped. So, I'm telling you.
Are you ready for the biggest, groundbreaking, thrilling, spectacular, innovative, impactful, launch time? 8, 7, 6, 5, 1, 3, 2.
Hapa nyumbani ni dhahabu na kueleza, njoo uone zaidi urembo bila kipimo.